Here's a quick tutorial on breaking down the body paragraph. So we talked a little bit about how body paragraphs are the meat of your essay and how they contain all of the proof for your thesis. Without them, your thesis really means nothing. So they're multi-layered, and when I say that, I mean that in one body paragraph, you're going to have a main idea, evidence to support that idea, and this is what we called they say. So all of the evidence you find from different articles or sources, that's they say. And then you're going to have the explanation of the evidence, which is equally as important because this is I say. This is your opinion, almost always. And you need a combination of these things. You also need transitions between the ideas both within the paragraph and between paragraphs. So on top of that, all of these ideas need to connect back to your central thesis. Remember, you're proving one thing, and your body paragraphs need to always be referring back to that idea, that overarching idea you're trying to prove. So I like to break down the body paragraphs into levels of specificity. It's kind of a mouthful. Levels of specificity. So level 1 sentence is going to be your topic sentence, and that's going to be the main idea of the entire paragraph. So it's pretty general, and remember, each body paragraph is going to focus on one topic related to the thesis. The level 2 sentences are a little bit more of an explanation of this level 1 idea, and you're getting, you're kind of telling the reader what you mean by this main idea, getting a little bit more detailed. But then your level 3 is very important. It's a more specific explanation of this level 2 sentence here. And this level 3 is usually demonstrated through facts, quotes, statistics, and very specific examples. So I told you guys in the tips that you want to show, not tell. So you really want to illustrate your main idea rather than simply tell the reader what you mean. And I'm going to give you an example of this in just a minute, what I mean. So you have your level 1, your level 2, your level 3, and you're also going to have your I say. So after you give specific evidence, make sure you create coherence, unity by explaining how the evidence ties back to your thesis. You can use phrases like, in other words, this evidence suggests, this shows. And this is called I say, where you offer your own opinion in response to the evidence. Very important. Finally, you need your concluding sentence, and this should summarize all of the ideas of the paragraph. And one thing I really like to do in my concluding sentences is lead the reader into the next point. So I connect the ideas from my body paragraph to the topic sentence of the next paragraph. And I'll show you guys how to do that later on as well. So let's take a look at how these different levels of specificity will come together in an essay or in a body paragraph. So here's my body paragraph. It's my solution to the problems. Remember, the problems are going to be in that introduction. And as you can guess, one of my solutions is going to be about teachers, how we need to better educate our teachers and treat our teachers better in the US. Not a big surprise, right? So First of all, the US needs to emulate how Finland educates and empowers teachers. So the topic of this body paragraph is looking at Finland's system and specifically how they empower and educate teachers. That's what this whole body paragraph is going to be about, all right? So now I'm moving on to this idea here to the left. For one, and this gets a little bit more specific, teachers in Finland are better educated than in the US, okay? So I'm speaking just about education here. And now for my level 3, I'm going to get even more specific. And to do that, I'm going to choose a quote and a stat. So, as Linnell Hancock reports, in Finland, educators are selected from the top 10% of the nation's graduates to earn a required master's degree in education. All right, so this is a more specific illustration of this idea here, how Finland's teachers are better educated than in the US. Then I go on here to give a statistic from Zachariah. In contrast, research shows that half of American educators graduated at the bottom third of their class. So again, more specific illustration of this level 2 idea. And again, they are only required to complete a 1-year credential, which is not difficult to obtain. So I'm not actually citing this idea here because I know this. I've studied here in the United States. This is general knowledge to me. So I don't actually have to put an author's name here or a citation for general knowledge. So these are all more specific level 3 ideas proving this idea here. And then lastly, I have my explanation of these sources, this evidence. Therefore, it makes sense that Finnish children would have higher test scores with more educated teachers. Do you see how this is my opinion? Therefore, this is the result. It makes sense right here. It's clear that, right, this reflects my opinion. I can say my opinion without using I, which was another one of the tips. So this part of the body paragraph is all about how the teachers are better educated in Finland. And now for part 2, I'm still in the same body paragraph, but I'm going to add a new point, so back to level 2. Additionally, teachers are given a lot more freedom to be creative and participate in curriculum design. All right, so we're back to a more general idea here. Also, as this relates directly here to this level 1, to my topic sentence, how teachers are empowered. I'm getting more specific by saying that these teachers have freedom to be creative and design curriculum. Now I need to go deeper and give more specific evidence. Here we go. After the massive reform of Finnish schools in the 1960s, the government decided that teachers from all over the country would participate in rewriting the curriculum. Do you see how this idea right here, its background, its facts, this gives more specific illustration for this point? Then I go on. The curriculum gives guidelines for teachers to follow, but also allows teachers themselves to decide what lessons are best for their students. Again, proper citation. I didn't know this on my own. It's not general knowledge. I have to reference Hancock's article. And then I say, in contrast, in the US, people who are not educators are making the curriculum. Zachariah makes this point, so I need to include his name in this citation. So my level 3 sentences, they're evidence from the articles we've read, they're specific facts and statistics. And lastly, I'm going to tie it all together with this explanation here. As the evidence suggests, giving teachers more status, autonomy, and freedom will greatly improve America's educational system. So this is me interpreting all of this evidence here and giving my opinion about how treating our teachers better, about how educating our teachers more will improve our education here. All right, so these are all of the components of a good body paragraph, these different levels of specificity. The they say, right? This is they say, and the I say, your opinions combined. And let's see what it looks like when it's all together. So here's our body paragraph. This is a nice, complete, thorough body paragraph about how the U.S. needs to model its education after Finland by educating and empowering them. That was our topic sentence. Here's our level 2 sentence in blue. It's a little bit more specific. Here's our evidence in green. And then here is my opinion, right, in purple. Then I zoom out. Again, I zoom out and talk about a less specific idea, a different idea. That's in blue, my level 2. I get even more specific here. This is my evidence that proves this level 2 idea, more specific. And then I end the paragraph with the I say, my opinion, and it's also functioning as a concluding sentence because it ties all of these ideas together. So as you're writing your body paragraphs, please keep these different levels of specificity in mind, and I wish you the best of luck. Email me if you have any questions.